What is happening, guys? Staff Sergeant Massey here, aka ARCHIEzzle on social media, and welcome to another video. Archies, I hope you guys are having a brand new great day. If you're brand new to the channel, I make videos about the military. Before I enlisted, I've been in active duty 9 years, Army medic, temporary recruiter. Flora is my wife. I got 2 kids, Ileana, Diego, and I make official videos also for the US Army. Links, screenshots here, there, everywhere. And for today's video, the main topic is super simple and easy. It's actually common knowledge. I think it's common knowledge, or it's just a Google search away, but people still don't know how to do it or get scared about the whole process. But for today's video, it's about how to enlist into the US Army, how to be part of the US Army, how to join the US Army, and kind of, relates to other services as well, okay? But for today's video, we're going to be focusing on the Army, okay? Step 1. Make sure that you are ready for this. Think about your reasons why you're joining, and then you contact ARCHIEzzle. Know any other recruiters, as long as you're in the Bay Area, contact ARCHIEzzle, links down below, email, bam, that's it. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so you contact ARCHIEzzle, preferably Staff Sergeant Massey, your local recruiter for the Army, and then you set up an appointment. When you contact this recruiter, sometimes you can ask additional questions, but it would be best to set up an appointment so you can actually sit down and have time to prepare, write it on a piece of paper, all your questions about the Army. How is basic training? How do you get paid? Do I get a haircut if I'm a female? Do I have to shower with a bunch of people in a giant bathroom with only like 5 shower heads? Things have changed. I heard it's actually individual stalls now, so lucky you. How do I pick my MOS? How do I pick my career, my military occupational specialty in the Army? You just don't want to enlist and join blindly without even knowing what your MOS is, getting promised a certain field. You want a specific MOS. Once you set up that appointment, like what I said, you get mentally prepared. You kind of have time to bring what you have to bring. Also, your recruiter, whoever you're working with, can tell you like, hey, bring this documentation, so it can save time and we can maximize our appointment to answer your questions and to see if you're even qualified. While at the appointment, obviously, recruiters is going to screen you again to make sure that you're eligible to enlist into the Army. All of this information, by the way, before I forget, can change. There's a lot of different ways in enlisting, but pretty much this is the roadmap to enlisting, and it's just easy as 1, 2, 3. It may vary depending on your situation, but it's pretty much the same course. After your appointment, the main goal obviously is to take the ASVAB. You can take the ASVAB in many forms. Again, this can change depending on your situation, but expect a practice test before or after you leave the appointment. So your recruiter can kind of help you a lot better, is to better assist you to see if you're a little bit weak or needs help with math or English or certain parts of the ASVAB test, because ASVAB will determine what your career is, what your job, what your MOS is in the Army. So you want to score high as you can, but it doesn't mean that if you score like maybe a 50, it doesn't mean that it's bad. It's a percentile. 50 means you're in the 50% of all the people that took the test. But if you want a certain MOS, obviously it depends on timing, manning, availability, reserves or active duty, and so many different factors. But rule of thumb, obviously, the higher the score, higher the line scores, and pretty much qualify for a lot more different MOSs. During that process, when you're actually going to take the actual test, you will start completing your packet. So a packet is kind of like applying for any employer. It's the same thing. Places that you lived before, preferences, your educational attainment, basically transcripts from high school and college. If you have family members, we need source documents also of your folks. So everything is in the system, everything's good to go. You will get screened medically, morally, so on and so forth, to make sure, again, that you're qualified to be part of the Army. Once that's good and you finally took the ASVAB test, time to sit down with the recruiter again to see what MOSs, what careers you qualify for. During this phase, obviously, you can ask like, hey, is there 46 Sierra open? Because that's what I want. So I'm asking actually people that work in HRC or anyone, hey, Sergeant ARCHIEzzle Massey wants 46 Sierra if it's available, please sir, ma'am. The most common MOSs and jobs that always gets asked are 12 Mike firefighter, 31 Bravo, 31 Kilo military police, dog handlers, 6-8 Whiskey, 6-8 Charlie, a lot of medical MOSs. That's the very most common one in the Bay Area where I work. So if you qualify for it and it's on the system, you can reserve that MOS. You cannot hold that job for too long. There's a certain amount of days. because you cannot hold a job super long. You have to enlist for it. Obviously, that's why you're reserving it. You can't hold it forever because other people want that MOS and that spot needs to be filled. When you're reserving your MOS with your recruiter, obviously it's going to dictate, it's going to show how long the contract is, if there's bonuses, extra incentives, airborne school, options 40, and so much more. When you do the reservation, also it's itemized. You'll go to basic training this date, it will end this date. Your AIT for your MOS, your schooling to learn your job in the Army starts at this date and ends at this date. Everything is in the itinerary, so you're not just gonna be walking like, oh, what's gonna happen next? I don't even know where I'm gonna graduate. You have a projected date, and it only just moves like a few days or weeks here and there because of travel time, and pretty much it's always accurate. Again, it's just like a few days here and there if you take leave, if you have HRAP and stuff like that. A lot of things comes into play, but pretty much it's right on the dot. Once everything's good to go, you finally go back to MEPS and do the full medical screening. They check you from head to toe. If you had a sports physical before, you played sports, basketball, football, whatever it may be, it's similar. I'm not gonna say it's the same, but it's similar. But prepare to get checked for your eyes, for your blood, urine sample, height and weight, to make sure your body functions are good, make sure you're fit for military service. That's the main point of this. And once it's done, once it's good to go, you sit down with your guidance counselor for the Army. So you go to the Army office and you will see that same MOS, the same job that you reserve. That's it. And once you review the contract and it's the same job that you reserve, boom, done deal. You are finally in the delayed entry program, just waiting for your ship date. Some ship dates can be like a few months later, some ship dates can be just weeks later. And obviously before you ship, your recruiter will get with you to make sure that you're ready for your shipping packet. Basically everything that you need before you ship, financially, what to bring, what not, and so on and so forth. A lot of these things that I talked about in this video is pretty much all in my channel. They're older videos, but just search around, it's in here. My question to you guys are, have you had issues working with your recruiters? Not just Army-wise, I guess any branches. Do you live in the Bay Area and want to work with ARCHIEzzle? Leave a comment down below, message me, DM me. My cell phone number is down there, my email address is down there, IG is down there, pretty much everything's down there. Okay, so there's nowhere point that you cannot contact me. I'm just saying, if you want to work with the best ARCHIEzzle before he leaves recruiting, I don't even know what's going to happen in the near future, work with ARCHIEzzle basically. If you like this video, obviously hit that thumbs up. It helps the channel grow. Subscribe also to get notified whenever I upload brand new videos. And that is it for today. ARCHIEzzle out.